Hey y'all, how's it going? Okay, so I'm currently in Itaewon, and on Chuseok, I actually pieced out of Korea for a bit and went to England to visit a friend. And yeah, so this is gonna be 5 things that I learned about England and that I noticed and was first impressioned with. That's not a word, but whatever. So let's begin. Number one, first impression, even on the airplane, but also like in food in general, is that y'all's butter needs a lot more salt. And also, finding actual English food in England is a lot more difficult than you would think. Like, I was there for basically 3.5 days, 4 days, and I did not have a single fish and chip the whole time that I was there. It was all like Indian food or Pakistani food or Thai food, Vietnamese food. It was like every other food except for actual English food. Like the only English food I had was an English breakfast with like English bacon and stuff. But that was it. Although I did appreciate that, like pancakes and sausage and eggs and like, you know, I love my kimchi, but sometimes you just need some hash browns in the morning, and I deeply thank England for that. Number two, the underground or the tube or whatever y'all call it, not the subway apparently, which is a different thing, is really, really claustrophobic. Like, I pretty much had a panic attack when I was riding it at one point because it is just so, it wasn't even that crowded, but it's just like the way that the sides kind of curve inwards. And if you're even remotely tall, like none of Tolkien's elves could ride the London subway comfortably because it's just really, really tight and short. And I did not appreciate that. That like gave me a panic attack because I like need my American wide open spaces. Okay, number three. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. Genetic diversity. Like what is that? Like, I've lived in Korea for so long, like 3.5 years, that I just got used to not really seeing different phenotypes and different races, and London has all of those things, and like colors and skins and hair textures. There were girls with like beautiful curly gigantic fro hair, and it was like fantastic and awesome to see, even though you couldn't actually see through them when they were walking ahead of you. You could easily like walk into a lamppost because you didn't see it coming because their hair was blocking the way, but nonetheless awesome, like lioness hair. It's like, oh my God, like redheads and gingers actually exist. Like, they're not special unicorns that just appear in movies and stories. Like, they're actual real people, and they're everywhere in London. And statistically, they should not all be as attractive as they are. I noticed that. Interesting. I don't know what that's about, but goodness me, like most ginger/redheaded people in London are gorgeous, and I'm kind of openly jealous of that. And along that line, style diversity. Like, no offense, London, but I did kind of expect you to be a little more stylish. You know, because coming from Seoul, like Seoulites are pretty stylish people. But that being said, Londoners' style is definitely a lot more diverse. Like, you see a lot more styles, a lot more hairstyles, color, all of that stuff. It's a lot more visually interesting, even though they don't always get it right exactly. Like, there were a couple times when I was like, whoa. But I definitely enjoyed people watching a little bit more than I do in Seoul. In Seoul, it's more like, hey, let's go to Apgujeong and see who has the same doctors. Whereas in London, it's like, oh, hey, like, you know, I love that style choice, or like, that's a little weird, but like, it's an interesting thought. And it definitely is really, really cool to see and watch. So I did enjoy that aspect of London style. Number 4 is London, why are you so expensive? Like, and I'm used to Seoul's like nice cost of living, but good Lord, like it's like £10 just to ride the subway for a day, like a couple times back and forth, or the tube or underground, whatever y'all call it, bunch of hipsters. But yeah, it's like so expensive, and yet somehow their coffee is still cheaper than Seoul. As an addict, I appreciate that. Thank you, London. And also, I don't appreciate that Seoul with the deuce. Like, come on, man. Like, you're killing me with your expensive coffee prices, Seoul. Like, even London is cheaper than you are. And number 5, gosh, Londoners are friendly. Like, I did not expect that, to be honest. I kind of expected them to be kind of standoffish and sarcastic and spiky. And when you're just like standing around watching people, they all have that kind of like English bulldog resting face, but like as soon as you smile at somebody, they start having these like random conversations with you and chatting with you. And I never once got like zinged for being American. Like nobody made fun of me. Overall, it almost reminded me of being in the South. Like it was really cool how incredibly nice everybody was. And you know, in Seoul, if somebody talks to you, like you immediately think like, what's wrong with that guy? You know, whereas in London, it's like everybody just wants to have a little chat, and it's so refreshing. It was really, really refreshing, and I had, honestly, a great first impression of England. I would love to go back. I was only there for a very short period of time, just long enough to see all the good signs and not see any of the bad. Yeah, I can't wait to go back sometime. So if anybody wants to buy me a ticket so I can come back and visit, let me know in the comments below. Say what you want about London, and next time I visit, like if y'all have any suggestions for where I should go or who I should see, leave it in the comments below, or any other country you'd like me to visit while I'm, you know, my next vacation coming up. And I love your faces, and I'll see y'all next time.